Hi, Jocelyn here, Fast Easy Vegan. So I'm doing this recipe that is called Curried Cabbage Stew. That's what we're doing. And it's on page 163 of the Fast Easy Vegan book. So I just finished a recipe for spinach rice. And I'm putting these videos together so that you can do a beautiful dinner at the same time. This is spinach rice. I think it's page 575. And it's really a simple dish and delicious. And it goes great with this stew. So this is one of my beloved combinations here. So with curried cabbage stew, we're going to start out with, let me pull you down here, show you what I'm doing. 2 cups of water, a cup of veg broth, and about the equivalent of 3 good-sized bay leaves. Let's turn that on, that fire. Now to that, we're going to add a cup of red lentils that you can get at any Indian store and probably your local grocery. I love them because not only are they really healthy, but they have this way of melting. Unlike other lentils, these kind of dissolve and give your stew or soup a really nice, dense, kind of creamy-ish texture. Then the recipe calls for cabbage, a whole cabbage. Well, there's only 2 of us, so we're going to have a few days of this as it is. So I'm just putting in a half a cabbage for the 2 of us, but I'm keeping everything else the same. Everything else being an onion, chunk it up in dice. She'll add a nice flavor to that. Then we want a teaspoon of turmeric in addition to a tablespoon of curry. Now, I've heard people saying that they don't like curry at all, and anything that's got curry in it they refuse to eat, which is really a shame because there are so many different kinds of curry. That said, I do get that there is a particular curry flavor that some people just can't stand. But some curries are mild, some are almost sweet, some are very spicy and fiery. Pretty interesting, this curry business. That said, I'm not always in the mood for it, but when I am, I really appreciate it. Okay, so the recipe also calls for a 15-ounce can of diced tomato. Well, for me, sitting here with a flat of end-of-the-season tomatoes, that's ridiculous. So I'm just dicing up a pound of my heirlooms here. Oof, is this going to be good? Look at the gorgeous color, the golden and the pink and the turning red. And I love heirlooms, even if they are homely little things most of the time. Oh, Bixie boy, did you find a squirrel? Here's Bix. Can you see him? Bixie boy? Barely. There's my Bix. All right, let's get back to dinner. Bix thinks when I'm talking to him that if he sticks around long enough, he'll get something to EAT. Yeah, oh, look at you. You're a busy little boy. Were you chasing that squirrel out there, Bixie? Huh? He lives for this squirrel. That's a love-hate relationship. Wow, look at that. Very cool. Heirlooms, full of surprises. The ones that I have growing in my garden, I got a surprise plant from my local grocery store. And they just sold it as a tomato plant. Well, it turns out it's this beautiful heirloom, and it starts out green, then it turns brown, then it gets streaked with, I kid you not, blue and red. And inside it's still kind of murky looking. Delicious. Good for salads. I wouldn't put a green and red tomato, blend it like a soup or something, because it'd end up looking like mud. That's not fun. All right, put these in, and we're gonna let it simmer. It'll be ready in about 15 minutes. Why? Because it takes about 15 minutes for those lentils to cook down and the onions to cook. So I'm going to see you in about 15, okay? Don't go away. We'll be right back. Okay, well, it's been 15 minutes, so let me show you what we're looking at. This is what this wonderful curried stew looks like when it's finished. Let me get some hot pads so I can show you without burning my little fingers. Isn't that gorgeous? Honestly, I think red tomatoes would be the thing with this. They'd be a little bit more contrasty, and it would therefore be more beautiful. So the only thing we have left to do is scatter some cilantro, chopped cilantro if you have it. And that makes it even prettier. And this is our dish. Let me put this, you know, I don't even know if these counters stain or not. I'm afraid to put anything hot on them. So, all right. This is your dinner. It is spinach rice, page 575. And curried cabbage stew, page 163, both in Fast Easy Vegan.
That was easy.
Because that's what we do. We'll see you next time. Hi, I'm Jocelyn. Welcome to Fast Easy Vegan. So today we're doing a little recipe that is delicious enough to warrant the trouble of a whole video and a discussion about it. It's spinach rice. It's on page 575 of Fast Easy Vegan. Yep, 575. I had to double check just to make sure. Spinach rice. So the ingredients are a bag of spinach, fresh. You can do it with frozen though too. But I got a 10-ounce bag of spinach. The recipe calls for a half a pound. So I'll put all but a handful or two. A can of drained but not rinsed garbanzo beans. Juice of 1 lemon. And 1 onion diced. Okay? So, now the first thing we're going to do, should have put that on already. I like to put my vegetables in a hot pan. It sears them and gets them going. So, first things first, since onions are the longest cooking thing, we put them in first. And let those heat up. Now, in the meantime, I've been cooking the rice. So the rice is ready to mix in once we're done with this. This is a simple matter, this recipe of cooking the onions so they're translucent. I know I'm going to need a little bit of water when things get hot. And once these are translucent, in about 3 to 5 minutes, I'll put in the spinach, as much as fits in the pan, and the garbanzo beans, and we'll heat those up. When the spinach is wilted, we're good to go. So I'll get back to you. I'll come get you when this is done. Okay, so these onions are ready. I just splashed a little bit of water in them. Let's add some spinach. Most of the bag. And you know, with this recipe, it says half a pound of spinach, but you know, that's a guide. Use your own sense and your own liking of spinach. It also says to chop them, but I'm not. Because as you know, I'm sure, spinach cooks down like nothing else. It's just going to end up being a little handful here by the end of it. That's all the spinach we need. And we want to get those garbanzo beans nice and hot. You know, I used to always rinse my beans until the aquafaba thing came along. And now I don't rinse them anymore. Funny how that works. A little change of perspective goes a long way. I always thought that some bean water, that slimy, nasty bean water, was just gross. It turns out it isn't gross at all. I like it now. Okay. Come on, spinach. Come on, spinach. Let's get wilted. Okay. Looks good to me. It can wilt a little bit more, but you know, the heat from the rice too is going to wilt that spinach down. So this is the recipe. You just add in the rice. Let me get a pot holder so I don't burn my little fingers. And I use basmati rice. So you can use, the recipe calls for brown. I wasn't in the mood for brown. But you can obviously use whatever rice you really, really like, because you're going to really, really like this recipe. I wonder if any of you use your Instant Pot for rice, because I think that's my next thing. I really like Ming. I like watching him, and even though he's a far cry from vegan, I like his ideas and his sensibility, and I just like him. And so I was watching one of his shows, or maybe I was reading through one of his books. And I like to veganize really great recipes. And he was talking about rice cookers, and he said, you know, don't bother learning how to cook rice. Just get a rice cooker. There's a reason why over 1/3 of the world uses it. And I thought, wow, that makes perfect sense. So I immediately went out and got a rice cooker and use it all the time. And it's true, it makes perfect rice every single time, no matter what kind of rice you're using. All right, that's our dish. Oh wait, no it isn't. Lemon juice. That's the kicker to it. I mean, that's the real beauty of the dish. That really makes it come alive. Okay. There you have it. Bon appetit.
That was easy.
It'll go with anything you make. Even if you just have like a salad and a side vegetable, delicious, delicious dinner. Enjoy it, you guys. I'll talk to you next time.